Welcome everyone to Therapeutic Yoga class today. We're going to highlight an entire class on the feet and balance. So here's what you're going to need for class today. You're going to need your yoga mat and you're going to need your chair. Now, if you want to make this class super challenging, what I would encourage you to do is take your mobile device that you're watching this on and your yoga mat and place it over a rug or a carpet or something. It will make the class twice as hard because we're going to be working on some balance stuff in standing. Other tools you're going to need for class today, you will need a hand towel. Now, I would recommend a nice, good plush hand towel. We're going to be using it to kind of make our balance exercises a little bit harder, as well as do some strengthening through our feet. The final thing that you're going to need for class today is some sort of mobilization tool for the bottom of your foot, your plantar fascia, and your arch. So there's a couple of options on the market. You can do some sort of mobilization ball. I really like the pinky balls. They're about 2.5 inches in diameter, and they're very similar to the feel of a racket ball. But racket balls or squash balls work perfect. Tennis balls also work quite well. They're just a little bit larger, but that's okay. But make sure whatever you're using has a little bit of give. You could also use something like a therapy log roll for your feet. It's a tool that's intended specifically for mobilizing the bottom of the feet and what we're doing today, but you certainly don't need to spend the money on that if you can find some sort of ball in your home. So those are the tools that we're going to be needing for today. Now that I've said that, let's get started on these feet. So did you know that you actually have 6 layers? So think about layer after layer. You have 6 layers of groups of muscles on the bottom of your feet. You know, the bottom of our feet take the entire weight of our entire body, right? So having lots of good muscles down there is a great idea. However, a lot of those muscles oftentimes can get dysfunctional, can stop moving well, can get tight, and can get tense. So we're going to be making sure that we work on those muscles of the bottom of our feet today before we tackle our balance exercises. The other key thing on the bottom of that foot that we're going to be tackling is something called fascia, F-A-S-C-I-A. So fascia is just thick connective tissue. A lot of us know about our plantar fascia, which is what is often inflamed when you have plantar fasciitis. And we are absolutely going to be tackling that as well. So find yourself in a seated position on a chair. Make sure that you're not using the backrest of the chair. So maybe have your legs so that half of your leg is on the chair and half of your leg is off the chair. Place your feet onto the floor and then make sure that your feet are about hip distance. So if you were to look at your second toes and your kneecaps and your hip joints, they all line up and are about somewhere around 2 fists width apart. And so once you have that position, allow yourself just to kind of slump back towards your tailbone, sitting really poorly in deflection of your lumbar spine. And then do the opposite. So allow yourself to roll your pelvis all the way forward, maybe even feeling a bit of pinch in your hip joints, but feeling yourself sitting all the way forward, arching your back, putting that tension in your low back for a second. Now, kind of roll all the way back down that hill and then roll all the way forward again. Do that just a couple of times so that you can get the perception of where you feel the tallest. Now, what I mean by that is that point where you feel like you're sitting on those sit bones. And once you have that, just kind of shift your weight to your right side of your sit bone. Feel that right pelvis into your chair. Left sit bone, feel that left sit bone in the chair, and make sure that they feel like they're equally weight bearing. And then once you have that, sit your spine up nice and tall. Just a quick little correction for our upper body and our shoulder blades here. So take your hands, bring them to the center of your heart, maybe put a smile on your face. Take an inhale, lift your arms all the way up. Place your hands like you're trying to raise the roof or touch the roof. And then as you exhale, pull your elbows down beside you. Pull those elbows so that they feel like they're coming into your back pockets. Reach those hands out to the side of you. Now give those shoulder blades a nice, good, tight squeeze. You might even feel a little bit of opening through your chest. Keeping those shoulder blades squeezed, simply now let your elbows straighten a little bit, unrotate your shoulders, and place your hands on your thighs. So see if you can keep that engagement through that upper body and those shoulder blades as you allow yourself to keep this seated posture. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and then allow yourself to just take the roof of the tongue, or the tongue and the roof of the mouth, and put them together. Now, in this position, you're still on those sit bones, right? So what I want you to now do from your hips is I just want you to hip hinge slightly, feel a little bit more weight go into your hands, feel the weight of your feet now go into the floor. All right, keep this nice, good, beautifully balanced and aligned posture and sitting, and then gently close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. So we're just going to do regular, normal breathing today. So slow, nice, gentle inhale into your nose and exhaling out. But what I want you to do is we're going to do a little bit of an awareness of our feet. So don't change anything about your feet on the floor right now, but just start to pay attention to your right foot. In the position that you've chosen for your foot, can you feel the inside of your heel and the outside of your heel on your mat? Or do you have a tendency to have more of the inside of the heel touching, more of the outside of the heel touching? And then without moving your toes or any part of your right foot, in the position that you've chosen for your right foot, can you feel your right big toe on the floor? And then the second big toe, and the third, and then the fourth toe, and then that pinky toe. Can you feel individually each toe on the floor? And then go to the balls of the toes now. Can you feel the ball of your big toe on the floor? And then can you feel the ball of the pinky toe on the floor? Just a nice mindful awareness of your right foot. Now, as you keep your right foot there, can you do micro movements to balance the inside of your heel, the outside of your heel, the ball of your big toe and the ball of your pinky toe? Can you just do micro movements in your feet and see if you can balance those 4 points on that right foot? And then take your attention to your left foot. Without moving anything, where's the natural position that foot goes? Go to your heel. Do you feel more weight on the outside of the heel, more on the inside of the heel? Maybe there's a part of your heel that's not even touching the floor. And then without changing anything yet, take your attention to your toes. And can you feel that big first toe on the floor, and then that big second toe on the floor? And then go to the third and the fourth, and then finally that pinky toe. Are you aware enough of your foot that you can feel all 5 of those toes individually on the floor? And then go to the ball of the big toe, and then the ball of the pinky toe, and just feel those for a moment. Now, very small micro movements through your feet, being very aware of the bottom of your foot. How could you balance the weight into the ball of the big toe and the ball of the little pinky toe and the inside of your heel and the outside of your heel? What does that feel like for you as you do that? And then now that you've done that, finally compare the left foot to the right foot. Do you feel like you've got equal weight going down through that right foot in all 4 points as you do that left foot? What does it feel like if you put a little bit more weight into your right foot? What does it feel like if you put a little bit more weight into your left foot? Just play with gently pushing right foot down into the mat, left foot down into the mat. And then as you kind of go between each of those, pushing them gently downward into the mat, can you find that point that you're equally pushing and gently weight bearing between both feet? Very good. And then slowly open your eyes. And let's move on to the next activity we want to do in sitting. So we've got good alignment through our feet right now, or hopefully we did if we had a good connection of our brain to our feet. Now what we want to do is a nice, good active exercise to start to fire up what's called the intrinsics of your feet. So if you can imagine with your fingers, if you start to wiggle your fingers up and down, you're using the deep muscles in the palm of your hands. We're going to try to do the same thing through your feet. Now, what I'd like you to do is allow yourself a little bit more of a hip hinge here. So take an inhale, get your spine nice and tall. And then as you exhale, literally weight bear your rib cage up and over your hands. Feel your triceps of your arms engaging as your hands push down into your thighs. And now you've kind of got a nice clear view of your feet here. And take your gaze to your right foot. And as you're gazing to your right foot, just check in for a second. Does it look like your right kneecap and your right second toe line up? If they don't, if the knee is on the inside, just gently guide it so that it lines up with the second toe. If the knee is on the outside, gently guide it until it lines up with that second toe. Now keep that body weight over the leg. So you are using some good trunk muscles and arms to do this. Keep that neck long and that chin tucked in. And as you're gazing at that right foot, lift all 5 toes off the floor. Now, as you lift all 5 toes off the floor, can you take your attention to just your big toe and slowly lower just that big toe down to the floor? Good. Can you inhale and pick that big toe back up? And can you exhale and drop that big toe back down? Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lifting the toe. Exhale, pushing that toe downward. And 1 more. Inhale, lifting the toe. And exhaling, pushing that toe downward. Now, inhale, lift that big toe up. Can you lower the outer 4 feet and keep that big toe up in the air? Inhale, lift those 4 toes up. And then as you exhale, can you lower the outer 4 toes, but keep the big toe in the air? 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting the outer toes up. Exhaling, dropping those toes down onto the floor. I hope you feel some muscles firing in your feet and calf. Inhale 1 last time, and then exhale, dropping those 4 toes back down. Then inhale, lifting those 4 toes up, and then exhaling, relaxing the toes back onto the floor, pushing yourself back up, giving those tricep muscles a little bit of a break in your arms. Okay. Time to do the left foot. So make sure you're nice and tall, hands onto the thighs. Take an inhale as you lengthen your body. And as you exhale, hinge at your hips. Bring that entire rib cage up and over those thighs. Gently push the hands down into the thighs so the upper arms are engaging here. Shoulder blades are back and down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. All right, full focus to this left foot now. Can you check in that your kneecap on that left leg lines up with the second toe? So if the kneecap is slightly inward, guide it outward to line up with the second toe. If the kneecap is slightly outward, guide it inward to line up with that second toe. Now keep your gaze and your focus on those toes. Keep that weight bearing down through these legs right now. Can you inhale and pick all of the toes up on the left foot? And then as you exhale, can you place just that big toe down? Inhale, lift the big toe up. Exhale, drop just that big toe down. 4 other toes stay up the entire time. Inhaling, lifting up the big toe is much harder for me to do on my left foot. Exhale, dropping that big toe down. And finally, inhale, lifting up that big toe. Exhaling, dropping that big toe down. Now, inhale, lift up the big toe. And as you exhale, can you drop down the outer 4 toes of the foot? Inhale, lifting those 4 toes up. Exhale, dropping down just those 4 toes. Big toe stays up in the air. 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting those toes up. Exhaling, dropping them. And 1 more time. Inhaling, lifting those toes up. And exhaling, dropping them. Beautiful. Inhale, lift those toes up. And then as you exhale, drop all of those toes down and slowly bring yourself back up into a seated position. All right, so we've already started to fire all of what's called those intrinsic muscles of your feet. Now let's give our toes and our hips a really nice, good stretch. So take your right ankle and bring it up and over your left knee. Now pay attention as you place your right foot onto your left knee, that your left knee doesn't fall inward and you lose that alignment through your foot. So can you keep that kneecap in line with your second toe as you position yourself in that position? And take your left hand, hold on to that right ankle. Right hand, hold on to the top of the right knee. Now, sit nice and tall. Feel that opening through your right hip, whether you love it or not. Go to where you feel comfortable, just a gentle pressure downward onto that right knee. Maybe lengthen your neck, settle your chin, rest your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Close your eyes if you need to really become engaged with that right hip right now. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. And one more time, nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Now slowly release the tension off of the knee, but keep the leg crossed. Now taking the left hand, index finger, place the index finger between the first and the second toe. Then place the middle finger between the second and the third toe. Ring finger between the third and fourth, and finally pinky finger between the fourth and fifth toes. So as you get all of those fingers interlaced with all of those toes, let yourself sit up nice and tall, maybe even bring that right hand back onto the knee, shoulder blades back and down, neck nice and long, chin tucked. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, squeeze through your left hand. And as you're doing that, all of the bones of the forefoot of the right foot are opening up, thanking you, because obviously they get so compressed when we wear shoes. So really spread through those toes. Keeping yourself right here, take a nice deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. And one more time, nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. And gently release the tension on the right knee. Slowly pull the fingers away from the toes. And then one final little treatment for this foot before we move on to the left foot. Take your right hand and grab the arch of your right foot. Take your left hand and grab that big toe. Now, here's what I want you to do. As you grab that big toe with your index finger and your thumb, just gently pull the toe away from your foot. Now, whether you've got some sort of bunion surgery or anything like that, you're fine to gently distract. Don't cause pain of your toe, but give it a nice little tug away. And then maybe do a little bit of a bend in each direction as you keep pulling that toe away. And then slowly pull the fingers off of that first toe, take it to the second toe. Grab a hold of that toenail and the tip of that toe and pull that finger away, creating traction or distraction to those joints. And then maybe a little wiggle into flexion and an extension of those toes. And then pull the fingers off of that second toe. Going to your third toe, grab a hold of that toe where that toenail is and pull it away from the foot. Holding it away, maybe wiggle it a little bit and then pull it fully off. Going to the fourth toe. See if you can get maybe a pop or two of these outer toes. They tend to get really tight. Pull it away from you. Maybe do a little bending and wiggling of that toe and then pull it off of the toe with the fingers. And then finally the pinky. Grab that pinky and pull it away from the foot. Holding that foot, maybe wiggle that pinky a little bit and then push it all the way off. You've got it. Gently take that right foot on the floor. Find that alignment with your hip and your knee. And let's do it all over on the left foot. So start with taking your left ankle, bringing it over your right knee. Now, when you do that, pay attention to the right hip here. Don't let your knee fall inward if your pelvis or your hip are weak. Allow yourself to keep that beautiful alignment of the right knee with that second toe as that ankle on the left leg is up and over. Right hand comes up to hold on to that left ankle. Left hand comes and gently places a little bit of pressure on the top of that left knee. Now, sit up nice and tall. Feel that opening through that outer left hip as you do that. Shoulder blades back and down, lengthen the neck, settle the chin, tongue to the roof of the mouth, maybe smile on the face, close the eyes if you need to. Gently pushing that left knee downward towards the floor. Can you take a deep inhale into your belly? And exhaling out. Let's do one more of those. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. You've got it. Now, taking those fingers on the right hand and interlacing them with the toes on the left foot. So index finger, bringing it between the big toe and the second toe. Middle finger between second and third. Ring finger third and fourth. And finally, pinky finger between fourth and fifth. Now get those toes in there, get yourself a nice good interlace of those fingers with those toes, and then bring that left hand back up onto this left foot, or left knee, sorry. Now in this position, start to really tightly squeeze through that right hand as you're spreading and opening up all of those bones of your forefoot. Gently press with that left hand into the knee, sit up nice and tall, feeling opening through the left foot, left hip. Take a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. And one more breath here, deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. You've got it, releasing the tension on the left hip, taking the fingers and uninterlacing them from the toes. Now take your left hand and grab a hold of that left foot. Right hand, index finger and thumb, make your way to that big toe first. So what you're going to do is you're trying to distract or pull that big toe away from you. Once you pull it nice and hard away from that foot, just give it a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of movement of fluid into those joints, and then pull your fingers off of that toe, going to that second toe, grabbing that second toe and making it nice and long away from the foot, maybe a little bit of wiggling forward and backwards, and then pulling those fingers and thumbs off of that second toe, going to the third toe, pulling nice and tight as you really pull that toe away, wiggling forward and backward a little bit, and pulling the finger and thumb off the third toe. Fourth toe, can you pull and get a good pop? The fourth and the fifth toes, those are ones that really get the biggest cramping in our shoes. Wiggling it forward and backward, and then popping those fingers and thumb off of that toe. And finally, that fifth toe, really pull it away. And as you're pulling that fifth toe away, give it a little tiny bit of a wiggle, and then popping those fingers off of that fifth toe. You've got it. All right. Gently uncrossing that left leg. One more strengthening exercise for these feet muscles before we get upward into a standing position and start working on our balance for the rest of the class. So you stay where you are. I am just going to turn my chair so that you can see the side of my foot. Now, go ahead and grab your towel and fold your towel lengthwise. Once you've folded your towel lengthwise, fold it lengthwise a second time so that the width of the towel as you place it on the floor is approximately the width of your foot. So you can take your entire foot and lay your foot onto the towel. Now, check in that your knee is stacked over your right ankle. Check in that your kneecap lines up with your second toes. Have your body in a nice, comfortable, straight position. Right hand can certainly be resting onto the right thigh. Left hand is grabbing the end of that towel. Now, here's what I want you to do. Pull that towel upwards towards the ceiling as you pick all of those toes up off of the floor. Make sure that the balls of the toes stay on the floor. Now use all of those muscles of the arch of your foot and pull those toes back down to the floor. All right, so see if we can synchronize some breath with movement here. So as you inhale, pull that towel upward, and then as you exhale, pull those toes downward. 2 more times here. Inhale, pull the towel upward, toes come up, balls of the toes stay on the floor. Exhale, pull those toes down. And one more time, inhale, lifting the towel up as the toes go. And as you exhale, letting those toes drop back down onto the floor. You've got it. All right. Now, simply switch the towel over to the left foot. Check in that you've got alignment here. So make sure that the knee is over top of the ankle. Make sure that the kneecap lines up with the second toe. I'm going to keep my right leg out of the way here so that you can see this. Right hand, grab the towel. Left hand onto that left thigh so you can shift your body weight up and over that left foot. All right, here we go. Let's give it a try. So you're going to inhale, pull that towel up, and then as you exhale, use the strength of the arch of your foot and your toes to push those toes down. Here we go. Inhale, lifting the towel, toes lift upward. Exhale, push the toes back down onto the floor. 2 more times. Inhaling, pulling the towel, all the toes lift, balls stay on the floor. Exhale, pulling those toes downward. And one final time here. Inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling, pushing those toes down. You've got it. All right, now take your towel, keep that double fold lengthwise, and just place it over the back of your chair. We're going to be using it for balance exercises in just a short moment. But what I'd like to do is take a moment here to open up through our low back before we get ourselves into a standing position. So allow yourself sitting in your chair to take your feet now wider than shoulder width. So gently make sure that you feel like your shoulders will be able to fit in the inside of your knees. In this position, take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly let your head bend down until your chin comes to your chest. Slowly bend your elbows, let your rib cage start to bend downward as you curl your rib cage, curl your abdomen, start to curl your low back. Keep letting all of the weight of the rib cage come onto the hands until the shoulders get down towards the knees. And then very gently start to drop your hands downward to the floor. Now, make sure that your gaze is back behind your chair. So keep your neck long, your chin tucked as you're looking backward here. Can you rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth? Now, nice deep inhale into your belly. And then exhaling out. Deep inhale into the belly. And then exhaling out. All right, let's train our back muscles before we get up and work on some balance here. So gently start to push your weight into your feet. Feel your legs engage as you push into your feet here. Then starting at your tailbone, use your abdominals. Feel your belly start to contract as you start to slowly, segmentally uncurl yourself. So one segment at a time, you begin to come up. Let that rib cage completely uncurl. Roll those shoulders back and down, and then uncurl that neck, finally bringing that gaze up and forward. All right, how did you do with that? So nice, good opening through our low back before we get ourselves into standing. All right, no better time but the present to get into standing. So let's talk about how to sit to stand correctly. Because did you know that sitting to standing not only is a fabulous strengthening exercise for your quadriceps and your gluteals, but it really does promote good balance and use of all of those muscles of your feet. So let's see if we can do this all together. We're going to try it on both sides. So take your left foot, place your left foot so that your middle of the arch of your left foot sits directly underneath your left knee. Line your kneecap up with your second toe. Take your right foot and bring your right foot down and behind your right hip. So position yourself so that you've got the left knee forward, the right knee pointing downward towards your mat. All right, sitting nice and tall. We're going to hinge at our hips here. So take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, hinge your body weight over that left foot. All right, here comes the quads and glutes, guys. Take an inhale and push into your feet. Keep pushing. And as you exhale, pinch and squeeze your glutes until you make it into a standing position. So efficient standing, real good use of those quadriceps and those gluteals. Well, let's just try it again on that right leg. We can't strengthen the left quadricep and glutes and not the right. So allow yourself to slowly reverse this. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, slowly hinge forward, push into that left foot, and then weight shift yourself back onto that chair. Great job, guys. Right foot comes forward. Left leg is the leg that's behind you. Now let's make sure you have the alignment. So get that right knee straight over the arch of the right foot. Kneecap lines up with the second toe. Then look at the left foot. Have the left foot underneath the left hip. You can't see mine, but you already saw it on the opposite side. Now, in this position, take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, hinge your body weight so the rib cage is up and over that right foot. All right, here we go. Inhale, push into that right leg, feel it all happening. And then as you exhale, squeeze as you tighten your glutes and keep pushing. Very nice. You have successfully made it to standing. Now, here's what I want everybody to do. Have yourself so that you've got your chair somewhere that you can use it for balance. It's a balance class. So I want you to make sure that you've got your chair somewhere that you're going to be able to work on your balance. And then that ball that I told you to get, find that ball and allow yourself to find that ball and place it so that it's underneath the balls of your right foot. So I'm holding onto my chair, I'm onto my left foot, and my ball of my right foot is underneath the ball. That's hard to say and get right. So we're just going to work on soft tissue mobilization of our plantar fascia and all 6 layers of muscles that we've already done an excellent job of strengthening. Now, word to the wise, if you're using a more rigid ball and you've got any sort of osteopenia or osteoporosis, be careful. You can actually break your metatarsals, fracture your metatarsals by putting too much weight down through this ball. Second thing, there is a strong connection with the fascia on the bottom of our foot and the entire flexibility of the back of our body. So doing this particular exercise, if you've got tight hamstrings, you're actually lengthening your hamstrings and all of the tissues. So lots of good reasons to do this, but you got to do it right. All right, I'm going to turn my body for a moment so that you can see what we're doing with this ball, and I'd like you to try to work it along with me. So where you're going to start is you're going to find the ball underneath the space between the first and the second balls of your toes. Now that you have it there, hold on for balance as much as you need to. Take a little bit of your body weight onto the ball, and then take your toes and curl your toes under the ball. So feel the toes curling under the ball. Now, very gently wiggle the ball side to side as you're moving and playing all those muscles and that plantar fascia on one another. Maybe if there's no pain, take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, weight shift a little bit more onto that ball. You've got it. Take a deep inhale there, and exhale, weight shift the weight off of the ball, and now take the ball so that it's in the center of the arch of your foot. Now, before you put any weight into the ball, just move the ball side to side and maybe feel, is there an area of the arch of your foot that's a little bit more sensitive? I found mine than the rest of my arch. Lining my knee up with my second toe, gently curling my toes under a little bit. Then take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to put some weight onto that ball. Now, it doesn't need a lot when you're in your longitudinal arch. Give it a little bit of a wiggle, just a little bit of an oscillation that just kind of wakes up all of the fluid called your ground substance in your connective tissue. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, can you weight shift a little bit more? All right, hold it there. Deep inhale into the belly, exhaling out. Unweight shift off that ball. One more position before we change to the left foot. Now that plantar fascia specifically attaches more to the inner part of your heel. So take the ball back to the heel area and roll it side to side. But chances are for the most of you, what you're going to find is it's closer to the inside of the heel, not the outside of the heel, that you feel a bit of tenderness. Gently let your toes relax and curl under. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, weight shift onto the ball. Now wiggle it. Create a little bit of oscillation of your leg that wakes up those tissues. The whole reason for doing this is to create flexibility and strength through your foot. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale. Can you do a little bit more weight onto it? Yes, it's pressure. Yes, it's tension. It should not be intense pain. Take a deep inhale into your belly and exhaling out. Beautiful. Weight, shift the weight off of the leg, and let's do it all over again on the left foot. So take the ball to the left foot. Make sure you feel like your balance is comfortable. Chair is somewhere near you if you need there. And then go to the balls of the left foot with your ball. And then find that point somewhere between that first, second toe area, and then curl your toes over the ball. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, weight shift your body weight over that ball, over the balls of your toe. Again, hard to say. Then wiggle the leg a little bit. As you wiggle, you'll feel a little bit of mobility and tenderness through the balls of that toe. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, maybe you got a little bit more weight shift. Maintain that. Give me a nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. You've got it. Now unweight shift the weight off of that left foot and move the ball to the arch of the foot. So again, this can be pretty tender for some people. So without putting too much weight on the leg and the ball, just move it side to side and find where's your tender spot of that plantar fascia, or maybe those 6 layers of muscles of the bottom of your feet. All right, check in that your knee's in alignment with your second toe here. Take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, weight shift body weight over that left foot. Now wiggle it. Wiggling it, oh boy, you'll feel it when you wiggle it. And that's what we want to do. Now take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, maybe weight shift a little bit more weight. Sustain your pressure on that. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. That was hands down my tightest position so far. All right, take that ball to the heel. Find the heel. And then again, it's likely going to be more the inner part of the heel. That's the tender part. It certainly is for me on this left foot. Once you find it, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, shift your weight onto the ball and the heel. Then wiggle your leg a little bit. It's just a small little oscillation that's happening from your hip. Do that for a few seconds. Deep inhale and exhale. All right, nice deep inhale in, and now exhale, weight shift onto that ball, onto that heel. Man, how does yours feel? Take a deep inhale in and exhaling out, and then weight shift your weight off of that ball, and you are done with that ball. Thank goodness, right? Now, we're going to do a nice little forward fold just to kind of create some length through the back of those hamstrings in the back of your calf. Since we just loosened up through the what's called posterior chains furthest connection, which is that plantar fascia and the bottom of your foot. So allow yourself to turn towards your chair. You're going to use that as a modification for your forward fold. Get your feet hip distance apart. You've got it. Allow yourself to make sure that your pelvis is in what is a comfortable position for you, and check in that you feel that you have weight through the balls of your toes. Now take a nice deep inhale, reach your arms up in front of you. And then as you exhale, hinge at your hips and place your hands on your chair about an arm distance in front of you. Now here's the trick. You want to get your hips stacked over your ankles. So as you take an inhale, weight shift your body forward onto the chair. And then as you exhale, hinge yourself forward, straighten your knees, but only to the point that you feel that tension. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, hold yourself right here. Tighten your abdominals. Give me a nice deep inhale into your belly. And exhale out. One more breath. Love the back of your legs for a moment. Deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Now, if you can, slowly let yourself try to lower your hands towards the floor. If you cannot, stay right where you are and just rest yourself in this gentle forward fold. We're going to add the pelvic component. So if you can make your way down to the floor, feel free to do that. But again, ankles and hips must be stacked on top of one another. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze behind you. If you've decided to bring your hands to the floor, if you're using your chair, allow your gaze to go down towards the chair. Now, can you, in this position, play a little bit with your pelvic position? So can you try to tip your tailbone up towards the ceiling a little bit more? All right, let's stay here. Nice deep inhale into the belly. Exhaling out. Deep inhale into the belly. Exhaling out. If you're in a full forward fold, bend your knees, drop your hips, bring your hands to your chair, and then push into your feet and bring yourself all the way back into that standing position. All right. Now let's get on to balance. So take that folded towel that you used when we were in sitting and place that folded towel onto the floor between your feet. So it's going to be a little bit more of a perturbance for your balance when we work on single leg standing. Check in that your chair is near you. Now, you're going to feel tension through the arch of your foot, tension through the muscles of your calf and shin, because we're going to be really training balance here. So check in that your feet are about hip distance apart. Move your feet from the left to the right foot. And then pick your toes up. Can you balance yourself between the ball of your big toe, ball of your pinky toe, inside of your heel, outside of your heel? If you feel like you've got that, then relax your toes down. Take a moment to tighten your knees, feel all the weight go to your heels, and then soften your knees. Hopefully that weight comes closer to the center of the arch of your foot. Pelvis, tuck the tailbone under, arch the low back, find middle of the road for your pelvic bowl. Imagine if it was a bowl of soup, there's no soup spilling out the front or the back. Once you've changed your pelvic position, allow yourself to check in that there's still weight through the balls of your toes. All right, now finally, let's get a good rib cage position here. So with your hands on your pelvis right now, if you look down, can you see your toes? Because if you can't, that means that your rib cage is actually slightly behind your pelvis. If you can see them, chances are your rib cage is stacked on top of it. So if it's not stacked on top of your pelvis, take an inhale, lift your rib cage up, slowly bring your rib cage forward until voila, those are feet down there, and then exhaling here. All right, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Don't worry too much about your shoulder blade position today because we're not going to be staying here for long. Then slowly drop your hands down, use the chair as needed for balance. Now, here's what I want you to do. Try to keep that body alignment that you just got and take an inhale. And as you exhale, shift your weight over to that right foot, come up onto the left toes. You've got it. Now, ball of your big toe, ball of your pinky toe. Remember when you were pushing that towel down? Start to push down through those toes with your toes straight. Feel the muscles of the arch of your foot engaging. And if you're ready, take an inhale and lift the left leg up off the floor. Now keep yourself right here. By all means, hold on if you need to for balance. But how strong can you strengthen your ankles, your feet, your leg, your hips, your trunk? Maintain this position. Nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. One more breath. Deep inhaling in Exhaling out, dropping the left foot down onto the floor. Checking in that you still have that hip distance. Let's do it on the left side here. So take an inhale, and as you exhale, shift your weight over to your left foot, come up onto the toes of the right foot. Make sure you feel the ball of the big toe on the floor, pinky toe, inside, outside of the heel. And then just like we were doing that exercise in sitting, push the toes down into the floor, feel your arch engage, your muscles of your leg engage. Here we go. Can you inhale and lift that right leg up off the floor? Can you exhale and keep it here? Now hold on to that chair if you need to. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. One more nice good breath. Inhaling here. And exhaling, dropping that right foot down. All right, now we're going to use that towel. So here's what I want you to do. Take your right foot, place the right foot on the towel. Now, once your right foot is on the towel, make sure your chair is near you, okay? Once your right foot is on the towel, feel that you can feel the inside of the heel, the outside of the heel, the weight onto the ball of the big toe, the weight onto the ball of the pinky. All we're doing is making it harder because we're making the surface a little bit softer. Can you, in this position, bring all of your body weight up and over that right leg? Push down into those toes. Here we go. Can you inhale and lift that left foot off the ground? Can you exhale and hold it there? 2 more breaths. Can you do it? Inhaling, push those toes down, especially that big one. Exhaling here. And 1 more breath, deep inhaling. And exhaling, and drop that left foot back down. Place that right foot back onto your yoga mat. Take that left foot up and onto that towel. Again, all you're doing is making the surface a little bit more unstable. Now, in this position, before you lift the right leg, make sure you've got alignment over this left foot. Can you feel the inside and the outside of the heel? Pinky toe ball, first toe ball. Make sure your body weight is up and over that left foot. Then start to push the toes down, engage through the arch. Here we go. Can you inhale and pick that right foot up? Can you exhale and hold it here? 2 more breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling. Push into the ball of that big toe. Inhaling here. And exhaling, and then bring that right foot back down onto the mat. Bring that left foot back down onto the mat. All right, that towel, you're done with it. So just kick it out of the way, and we are ready to move on to the next exercise. So we're gonna work on star pose. Now, this is an incredibly excellent balance exercise to strengthen your feet, strengthen your ankles, but guys, more importantly, strengthen these weak hips that we get as we're aging. So here's what I want you to do. I want to make sure we all do this safely. So we're going to do star pose on the right leg first. So can you please make sure that your chair is to the right side of you? All right, now shift your weight fully onto the right foot. Make sure you feel inside, outside of heel, ball of first toe, ball of pinky toe. You feel like your pelvis and your body is up and over that right foot. All right, we're going to do this in 3 stages. First and foremost, start to push the big toe down into the floor, feel the arch engage. All right, on your next inhale, lift your left leg out to the side of your body. Exhale, hold it there. Hold on anytime you need to. Now, left arm, take an inhale, lift it out to the side. You got it. Exhale, hold it here. All right, you ready for full star pose? Can you inhale, shift your body weight so that your left shoulder stacks on top of your right hip, right knee, right arch of your foot? Can you find that position? All right, are you ready? Can you let go of your chair? Push into the big toe. Inhale, hold it here. Exhale, hold it here. Guys, 1 more breath. Inhale, hold it here. Exhale, hold it there. Drop the right hand onto the chair, lower the left arm and the leg. How did you do? Was it impossible? Take your chair, bring it over to the opposite side. We are going to do the exact same thing on the left side. So make sure that you've got your left toes point, your second toe pointed forward, knee is forward. Once you're there, start to shift the weight onto the left leg. Now, make sure you feel inside, outside of heel. We need good alignment through that foot if we want to improve our balance. Ball of the big toe, ball of the pinky toe. Start to push down into the toes. Engage that right big toe. Make sure the entire left leg is over that left foot. Pelvis is in a neutral position. By all means, hold on to this chair. Okay, let's start this. 3 parts. So take an inhale, lift the right leg out to the side. Hold it as you exhale. Right arm, inhale, bring it up to the side. Exhale, hold it here. Now here's the part that really engages the hip. Take an inhale and bring your right shoulder straight over the left hip, ankle, and knee. Got it? All right. Can you do full pose for me? Push that big toe down into the ground. Can you inhale and take your left arm off the chair? Exhale, hold it here. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, dropping the left hand onto the chair and dropping those right hands and knees onto their relaxed position. Okay. One last balance pose on each foot, and then we make it down to the mat. So let's do tree pose. So stay with the chair where it is, okay? And take your right foot and place the heel of your right foot to touch the inside of your left ankle. Now, in this position, check in with the weight bearing through your left leg. So do you feel like your kneecap is in line with your second toe? Do you feel like you've got weight through the inside, outside of the heel, underneath the ball of the first and the outer on the pinky toes? Pelvis is in a neutral position. Weight is down through that left leg. This may be your tree today. Option number 2, slowly slide the arch of the right foot to match the inside of the calf arch. This may be your tree today. Option number 3, bring the arch of the right foot to the inside of the inner thigh on the left leg. This may be your tree today. Wherever you are, push into the toes of that left foot, engage through that left leg, and if you're comfortable and ready, inhale and grow the limbs of your tree. Nice deep inhale into the belly. Exhaling out, one more breath, inhaling in and exhaling out, relaxing the arms down, lowering the right foot, and finally taking the chair one last time to the right side of your body, doing tree pose on the right side. Same deal here. So place the right foot on the floor, take the heel of the left foot and touch the ankle on the inside of the right foot. So that just allows you to get your pelvis and your left hip alignment before you start to challenge your balance. Now in this position, weight to the inside, outside of the right heel, underneath the ball of the big toe and the pinky toe. Make sure you feel like your body weight is up and over that right foot. Now, this may be your tree today. Hold it here. But option number 2, like we said, on the right side, slide the left arch of the foot, or left side, I guess. Slide the arch of the left foot up to meet the inside of the calf. Option 2 for your tree pose. Finally, option 3 for your chair pose, taking the arch of the left foot to meet the arch of the inside of your inner thigh on the right foot. Now, wherever you're picking today, please engage into that foot. That's what it's all about today. Can you push those toes downward and feel that arch strengthen? All right, here we go. Take a nice deep inhale and grow your tree. Exhale, holding it here. One more breath. Inhaling, growing your tree limbs. Exhale, holding it here, and then dropping the arms down, dropping that left foot down. Now, before you make it down to your mat, take this quick moment to turn your chair around so that you've got that chair to place your legs up at the very end of class. Face your chair. Take one leg, step it back so that your leg is behind you. Take a nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, hinge your hands forward onto the chair, bend that back knee, bringing yourself down onto your mat. Now, just gently push the chair so that it's at the edge of your mat. Find yourself in hands and knees here. Make sure your knees are still hip distance. Hands, walk them so that they're underneath the shoulders. Just going through a few cat-cows here. Take an inhale and sink the belly down, lift the tailbone, shoulder blades back and down, lift that chest, lengthen the front of your neck and look up. And then as you exhale, tuck that tailbone under, pull that belly in, arch that low back and upper back, spread those shoulder blades, chin to chest, gaze into your belly button. 2 more times for me here. Inhaling, sinking the belly, lifting the tailbone, shoulder blades back and down, lengthening that head and looking up. Exhaling, curling everything under, really tuck that tailbone, belly goes in, chin to chest, gaze at your belly button. And one final time here. Inhaling, sinking everything down, lifting that head, gazing up. And exhaling, curling everything under, chin to chest, looking into the belly. Now, real quickly for a moment, find yourself in table position. So that's somewhere of a neutral position between those 2 positions we just worked on in cat-cow. Take one quick moment, take your right foot, place your right foot straight behind you. Can you look behind you and check in that the outside of your right foot lines up with the outside of your mat? Can you check in that your left hip is still stacked directly on top of your left knee? Now take a nice deep inhale here, straighten that right knee, and as you exhale, push that heel back, feel that beautiful stretch through your calf muscle. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin here, really engaging through your arms. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. One last time, nice deep inhale. And exhale, slowly weight shift back forward, drop that right knee onto the floor. Take that left leg fully back, straight behind you. Check in that the outside of the left foot lines up with the outside of your mat. Make sure that your right hip and knee are still perfectly stacked. Take a deep inhale here, straighten that left knee. Exhale, use your arms and push back into that left calf. Holding it here, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. One more deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out, sliding that left knee back in. Now, one final gentle stretch for that plantar fascia. Can you turn all of your toes under? Now, if you've got a fusion through your metatarsals, a hammer toe fusion, whatever, be careful. But what I want you to do in this position, just to give yourself a plantar fascia stretch, is take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, just kind of sit back onto those toes in this position. Just gently pushing yourself back. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and give me a nice deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. And just one more breath. Deep inhale in. And exhaling out. You've got it. Now, turn yourself to the side. Have yourself laying down so your head is away from your chair. As you're making your way down to your side, roll yourself over onto your back. Make sure that you can see and feel that your heels can touch onto the chair. If you want your calves to come onto the chair, bring the chair a little tiny bit closer to you. But in this position, before we get into that final resting pose, pull your shoulder blades underneath you, let your arms come out to the side. Allow yourself to take your right leg gently over your left leg. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly pull those knees to the right. Now go to where you can. Feel that beautiful stretch through the side of your hips, side of your body, and then take that left arm and reach it out and away from you. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and then just gently turn your gaze to your left thumb. Nice deep inhale into your belly. Feel that opening through those muscles of the hip that we used in star pose. Exhaling here. And one more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling. And then inhale, lift the knees up, and then exhale, unrotate to place the left calf back onto the chair. Uncross the right leg, cross the left leg over the right. Arms are out to the side of you for a moment. Take a nice deep inhale here, lift the legs off of the chair, and then as you exhale, left leg pulls the right leg to the left. And then take that right arm and reach it out beside you, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and then turn your gaze to your right thumb. Now, in this position, feel that beautiful opening through that right hip. Oh, that feels so good after doing star pose. Allow yourself to take a deep inhale here. And exhale. One more breath, nice deep inhale. And exhaling, head back to the center. Inhale, lift your knees up into the air. Exhale, derotate the spine. Uncross the left leg over the right. Place the calf muscles onto the chair. Nice, good inversion of our legs. Check in that you feel like your back is in a neutral position. Shoulder blades are underneath you. Go ahead and rotate your palms so that they're facing up towards the ceiling. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. How are your feet feeling? How did you do with your balance? Allow yourself to stay nice and still. And then feel where your right foot is in space right now. Is it touching anything at all? Can you feel your right toe, big one? Can you feel that second right toe, third right toe, fourth, and fifth? Can you appreciate each and individual toe on your right foot? Not wiggling it, not moving it, just being aware. And then take your attention to your left foot and feeling if anything is touching your left foot. And then take your attention to your left toes, that big toe first. And then that second toe, feel where it is. Is it touching anything? Third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Feeling and being able to be aware of each and every toe individually. And then taking your attention to whatever is resting against the chair. Maybe it's your right calf and your left calf. Maybe it's your right heel and your left heel. Whatever you're feeling without moving your body. You have equal weight underneath the right and equal weight under the left. Do you feel balanced as your legs are against this chair? And slowly taking a nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhale. And one more time, deep inhale into the belly. And exhale. And gently opening your eyes, bringing your right foot to the edge of your chair, the left foot to the edge of your chair, taking a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, just letting yourself log roll over onto your side. Rest there just for a moment. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. And then when you're ready on the next exhale, bottom elbow and top hand, push yourself up into a seated position. Finding yourself in easy pose, and then placing your hands to the center of your heart, smile on your face. Whew, how'd you do with your feet and your balance? I hope you did wonderfully. Take a nice deep inhale in and out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you for joining me today.